What's up, guys? Welcome to Whisky. I'm Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below, and with that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today we're looking at Maclean's Nose. Stick around. Alright, so we're looking at a blend today. I've got Maclean's Nose with me. This one was released last year in 2023, and pretty much right out the gate, this one got loads of hype, largely because this is an Adelphi release. Adelphi owns the Ardnamurchan brand, and a good chunk of this blend comes from the Ardnamurchan distillery. So basically, this stuff is the Ardnamurchan blend, and if you've never heard of Ardnamurchan at this point, you must be living under a rock, or, you're just a well-adjusted, normal human being who has not made whiskey into a religion. In which case, you're weird. Either way, Ardnamurchan, it is very hot. It is very in. It's all the rage, darling. And yeah, we have a good portion of Ardnamurchan in here. This blend consists of Ardnamurchan. We have some Campbelltown single malt in the mix, which should be Glen Scotia. And we have some grain whiskey from the lowlands. The ratio of malt to grain in this is 70-30, so they are more generous with the malt than most blends are. This one uses a high proportion of ex-sherry casks in the mix, and apparently, as for the name, Maclean's Nose, it's a double entendre. In actuality, it's a reference to a landmark that's not far from the distillery, but it's also a reference to Charles Maclean, who has worked closely with Adelphi for a very long time. The guy is a legend in the industry, and yeah, I'm thinking this one has been such a big hit since it came out last year that I wonder if they're gonna make like a proper series out of this. Like, I think it would be really cool if in 2024 they gave us some kind of follow-up release, like, I don't know, like Maclean's Elbows. Anyway, beyond just the word of mouth hype, this one was also nominated for an Oscar last year in 2023. It didn't win, but just making it into the nominations within your first year of being released on the market is really impressive. And not only that, this one was also the Whiskey of the Year from a certain famous YouTuber. So we've got Adelphi, we've got Ardnamurchan, we've got Ralphie, we've got Oswin nominee, we've got big hype for this one. Let's see if it lives up to it. Let's jump into our review. In the meantime, if you'll kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. As expected, we do get good specs on this one. It's 46%, non-chill filtered, natural color. So for looks, I don't love the look of this bottle. I know it's like old school and no frills, and that's why I'm supposed to like it. It does not click with me. The label is made of, I think it's recycled materials or like waste products from making the whiskey, which is great. I'm always happy to see a green initiative. But yeah, for look, it certainly is unpretentious, but it also doesn't really catch the eye, and it doesn't look like anything special to me. So I'll give it 1.5 out of 5. Our bottle does not say non-chill filtered or natural color, but we do get a QR code on the back that takes us to a web page, and then it does tell us that, of course, it is naturally presented. It's a craft blend. It also gives us some of the barrel breakdowns. It gives us some backstory. It talks about the malt to grain ratio. So our info definitely is very good. I just don't love the look. On the nose, this is a little bit restrained. I get stuff like apples, pears, grass, eucalyptus. There's some spicy red fruits from the sherry casks. There's vanilla, orange oil, lemon zest. There's some nuttiness in here. This is musty, like wood in a dusty old attic. And we do get a little hint of smoke. On the palate and finish, this stuff is full. It's textured. There's a nice oiliness here. It's very mouth coating. There is a lot more smoke on the arrival than what was hinted at in the nose. There's apple wood chips for like your meat smoker. I get lemon lime, I get lemon hard candy, I get ginger beer, I get sea salt. And it finishes on a grainy, slightly metallic note. We also get some florals in there, as well as some darker fruit notes like plums and blackberries. Medium finish. Alright, so this stuff is good. I think it's a solid blend. I can't say that I'm amazed here, but I do think it tastes good. I think it's got good value, and when we see it through that lens, it is definitely worth buying. We get some smokiness in here, we get some sherry in here, it's substantial, it's sippable, it is mixable if you want to do that. I don't. This one has the versatility of a people-pleasing blend with a lot more weight and character behind it. One thing I do like here is just how smoky it is. It's much smokier on the palate than you think it will be from the nose. Also, the sherry influence is good in the sense that it is very noticeable. It's there, but it's not overbearing. So broadly speaking, this is a pretty balanced whiskey. We do get both barley and grain in here, and I don't just mean the recipe. We get the flavors from both of those elements in here, and I mean, you don't want to be that guy, but the barley notes are more pleasant than the grain notes. Which actually brings me to a minor gripe that I do have, because there's a hot metallic note on the finish that is most likely from the grain whiskey, and I don't love it. It's not enough to like ruin the whiskey or anything, but it will affect the score, and it does put a damper on things. Also, it is a bit young, it is a bit hot, it's a rough whiskey, it's an unpolished whiskey, and I know that's the appeal to a lot of people out there, but it's not refined, and personally, I'm not blown away by this, and I think a lot of you are going to enjoy it, but I don't know how much you're going to love it. It's a middle of the road whiskey, but a well done one. So is it jobbing and rugged and old school and unpretentious? Yeah, those are all absolutely fair descriptors, but I think it's fine. Personally speaking, I don't think this is a bottle that I'll need to replace, and if I do replace it, I doubt it'll be anytime soon. Definitely down the line if I find out that they've, changed up the recipe a little bit, if they're sourcing from different distilleries or they're playing around with the casks a little bit. I definitely will want to check out the updated version, but for now, yeah, it's fine. I don't need to replace it. For score, I'm going to land on 82. I think it's an interesting whiskey. I do think it's worth checking out. Now let's talk value. So yeah, I do think it is worth checking out, and the value is not bad, but I also think that the value is appropriate. In my market, if they charged much more than this, I would not feel great about it. If they charged less, obviously that would be a good thing, but I do think it's pretty much on par for where it should be given the quality. And listen, even then, there's still some competition. There are some really nice whiskeys in my market that are cheaper. There are single malt whiskeys that are cheaper, so I could buy stuff like Tomatin Legacy or Deanston Virgin Oak, neither of which are outstanding, but I do prefer them to this. For the equivalent of about $10 more, I can get a whole slew of whiskeys, including, single malts like Glencairn 10. Even if we just look within like the blended category, $10 more could get me the Thompson Brothers TB BSW. I think that's like their sherried 6-year-old. I prefer that to this. So while this is not unfairly priced at all, there are other options out there, and many of them I do prefer, whether they're slightly more expensive or even slightly cheaper. So yeah, it is competitively priced, and it is a competitive whiskey, but it's not the best of the best for what money can buy, and maybe it's just a profile that I'm not connecting with. Either way, it's fine. But still, I do want to say before you all come after me in the comments that I agree that this is a rugged, jobbing, unpretentious, craft-produced, well-made blended whiskey. It is all of those things. Is it a whiskey that I love? No. Okay, so that is it from me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to help out the channel, I have the Patreon. Otherwise, you can like, comment, subscribe. That is always appreciated. And of course, I want to hear from you guys. Now, this one, I think this video will stir up some opinions. It might be a little bit controversial. I know there are a lot of people out there who absolutely love this stuff. And I think it's solid, I think it's decent, but I'm not nearly as impressed, and I can't match the enthusiasm that so many people out there have for this stuff. So I'm curious to see where you guys land on it. So what are your thoughts on that one? You can let me know that down below. Also down below, you can tell me what you want to see down the line on the channel, whether it be reviews or concepts or lists or whatever. Again, put those down below, and I'm always happy to read them, and I suppose we'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.